Hi, and welcome to the Songs from the West Coast album commentary.
Going out west to California, going out west to...
We wanted this album to sound different from our first record, and we wanted to also capture the spirit of California and what it means to us. So we took our recording equipment and we hit the road. Track 1, Pretty Bird, began on a ukulele in Griffith Park. And sometimes on Sundays we'll take the ukulele and we'll go there and we'll have picnics and we'll go walk by the old abandoned zoo and just around the merry-go-round where Walt Disney got inspired to start Disneyland. And one day we were there, sun was shining, I think there was a guy playing bagpipes in the distance, and this melody just kind of came out of the blue.
Originally we thought it would just be an instrumental. The vocal melody and the lyrics were written last.
What you're hearing right now is actually the voice memo from when we first had the idea. And when we went to track the song, we actually put the nicely recorded ukulele back through the iPhone to give it that demo sound.
We put a sample of birds singing in the background so you would be in the headspace we were in when we wrote the song.
We played just about every percussion instrument in this basket we have in our studio on this song. We just kind of went to town.
It starts sweet and soft, but then it becomes powerful like a force of nature. We triple tracked ourselves to make it feel like a big group vocal at the end.
Singing out my window, singing in the sunshine, sing unto me, pretty bird.
We also tried not to hold back on something we love, which is a lot of ambience, reverb, and things like that. Really makes it dreamy.
Track 2, West Coast, was mostly recorded at a bungalow in the Chateau Marmont.
Although we actually wrote the song when we were in Paris waiting for our son to be born. And I think we were a bit homesick for California when we wrote it. So here's the original voice memo.
Gonna build me a temple, one that could reach the sky, so the world can worship me. I'll be the apple of their eye. Nothing to mess.
Some songs come easy and some are a bit more difficult. For this one we went through 4 different verse melodies before we got back to the original one. Here they are.
Goddamn Reno, I'm a mosquito heading out to the sun. Cocaine equilibrium, California, here I come. LA, LA, tell them that I'm on my way, driving down that long highway. Hollywood, I'm here to stay. Going out west to California, going out west to California. Oh, I got the music in me, ready for the world to see. Going out west to...
Before we started recording the album, we got a 1959 Gibson LG0, which is a kind of a student model of Gibson acoustic. And it sounds much darker than our other acoustics. And it was nice to have that kind of tone. It's a little bit more somber and a bit more melancholy. And that's pretty much in every song.
A lot of the through line of this album is actually the moody sound of a French horn.
Throw me to the sharks to die one more time, 'cause I'm going to the West Coast. Throw me to the sharks to die one more time, 'cause I'm going to the West Coast.
Oklahoma, been drowning since I met you, and now I can't get you, Oklahoma.
Track 3, Oklahoma, was inspired by an article I read about a girl who got arrested for plotting a school shooting in Oklahoma. She was 18 years old and I saw the picture and she's pretty, and you just wonder how someone can go to that violent place in their mind. And this song was kind of written from the perspective of someone who might have known her, or even dated her, who was just wanted to forget her and was driving away and saying goodbye to Oklahoma, maybe driving to the West Coast.
One of our favorite drummers, Joey Warnaker, who also plays with Beck and R.E.M., played on this song too. We love his feel. Listen to it.
We reached out to Manchester-based string arranger Richard Curran, who both arranged the strings on the song and performed them.
It's another example of a song where we made the vocals really dreamy.
Oklahoma, I wish I'd never met you, 'cause now I can't forget you, Oklahoma.
Watching green leaves dance in the wind. So free.
Track 3, So Free. Here I am in a movie theater parking lot with my guitar in the car, writing the song.
So free, so free.
The bass kind of lingers on one note throughout the verses and suddenly changes, and you can feel the freedom opening up.
Watching green leaves dancing in the wind. They're so free. All the ripples wave goodbye to the stones. They're so free. Remembering when we were kids, we were so free. On the first day of the holiday, we're so free. They're never gonna put those chains on me.
I did some really high Beach Boy-esque vocals at the very end.
The sound of a guitar being fingerpicked is pretty free feeling. So we did that throughout most of the song, but also we did some strumming with the guitars tuned down. Track 5, Happy Little Thoughts. The lyrics got a little darker, but it's still a fun groove. Here's the demo.
Okay.
I don't feel different than I was when I was 20. Spin my wheels, nothing's ever real. Tell me now, how am I supposed to feel? I guess you could say I got the dark side. Don't need to bring you all the way down. Why?
We took our recording gear to the Madonna Inn in San Luis Obispo, and we set up shop in the room Gypsy Rock, which has this kind of rainbow-colored ceiling. And we just started playing whatever we could in the room. We tracked the vocals, the acoustic guitar, and some percussion stuff. Marie was playing on the rock wall and doing kind of percussion. And when no one was looking, I went into the grand ballroom and got a recording of the grand piano. And this is both of those sounds together.
We kept the bass really funky like we usually like it.
Here are some of the synths that are layered in the chorus.
Here's the demo for track 6. Tell me it'll be alright.
Just turn your back on my love song. I've got a summer to carry go wrong. And all the cities they weep, they keep. And all the sermons that some come, they keep crying.
Tell Me to Be Alright is about dying and going through the tunnel to the light at the end. And, you know, it's kind of like, who will you see and what will they say to you? And I think we both are idealists, and we think that, you know, that person or that being, that soul, whatever, would tell you that everything's going to be okay. You're just in like a new realm. And so we went out to Joshua Tree and we brought our recording equipment, and we tracked most of this one out there. This is also Joey Warnaker on the drums on this one. A friend of mine from Michigan named Ben Collins from the awesome band Mini Horse played the guitar solo on this, and did some really cool layered stuff and played some slide. I love it because it's something I would never play, but it's awesome.
Gentle white as a wind out of sea, Natalie.
Track 7, Catalina, is about the death of Natalie Wood, and the melody came pretty fast after that. We went to Catalina Island, where Natalie drowned, and recorded the ocean.
Joey Warnaker got really inventive on this one and even played on a chair. Sounds really cool. That's the sound you hear going through most of the song from the beginning to the end.
In the background of the bridge, you can hear the news report talking about Natalie's death.
Natalie Wood and her husband, actor Robert Wagner, along with 2 other people, had spent the weekend at Catalina aboard their 60-foot yacht, the Splendor. The foursome had dinner Saturday night on shore. Wagner's attorney said that Wood and Wagner then returned to the Splendor anchored offshore. He found Miss Wood was not there and discovered she apparently had left the yacht aboard a small rubber dinghy.
I think we ended up doing about 1,000 vocal tracks.
Catalina, have you seen her? Oh, Catalina, where's she gone?
Track 8 is the only cover on the album, and it's a song by Tori Amos called China that has been one of my favorite songs since forever. And I've wanted to cover it for a long time, and I didn't really know how, and it just kind of came together organically and really naturally in this one, and you sang it really well, Marie.
Thank you.
And the only other person playing on it is Dan Kalisher, who did the pedal steel part, which is really beautiful.
This song also has our toy xylophone, and some of our favorite guitar parts are in there too.
We wrote track 9, Not With a Bullet, when we were in Paris, and the lyric idea came first, that love is stronger than death and it outlives death. And funnily enough, it kind of started as more of an Oasis kind of song, just in kind of like a swing rhythm, like She's Electric. But then it quickly transitioned into what it is now. Here's the original voice memo.
Can't stop love, not with a bullet, not with an army. Yeah, you can't stop love, not with a bullet, not with an army.
And then it became this.
You said you'd be mine forevermore, until kingdom come. And that love is all we are, not flesh and blood. You can't stop love, not with a bullet, not with an army, nothing at all.
I played the drums on this one, and it's probably the most aggressive sounding drum beat on the record, but it's nice going against such a kind of a loving theme.
On this song, we also use one of our favorite instruments that we own, which is our Rhodes.
You can't stop love, not with a bullet, not with an army, with nothing at all.
It took us a minute to find the right instruments to fill it out, but in the end we ended up with the French horn, which we used a lot, but also this really cool flute pad.
We thought the album was written and finished, but then we had this idea, track 10, Catch 22, and we loved it so much, we ended up including it in the album.
When the feeling is in front of you, and you're feeling like a nobody, shadows in the big sun.
I really like how the vocals turned out on this one.
Catch 22, when you're out there in the ocean blue. Damned if you don't, damned if you do. Now she's fading from the hotel view. Oh, catch 22. When it seemed to
Here's a little bit of the outro guitars.
The last track, track 11, Wallflowers, is probably the most folky one on here. And the whole idea of it is us singing to our younger selves, basically, because we were both, you know, went through our awkward years, pretty much like everybody, I guess. And so we're singing to ourselves saying, hey, you're going to bloom like a wallflower. And that's the whole idea behind this. But this is the only song where we got out the banjo.
Just like the first track, this last track has some nature sound. We put some crickets so that you have the feeling that you're singing outside around the campfire.
Well, that's a wrap on our album commentary. We hope you enjoy the new album.
Thanks for listening, and bye.